Howdy, I'm Katz, and today we're talking about increases. So where you put your increase is going to matter. For both of these pieces right here, we have the same amount of rows, same amount of stitches, but we've got a circular shape and a hexagonal shape. So how this is happening is because of where we place these increases. All right, so let's look at where these increases actually are located. So on both of these pieces, I've done the increases in this green colored thread. And as you can see, this hexagonal shaped one has all the increases stacked in a radial that's almost leading over to those corners. Whereas in the circular one, we've got it all kind of polka dotted and spread out, which is leading to this shape. So let's take a look at what these patterns are going to be like when they're written out. So for this hexagon, we're going to have a pattern that looks like this. Super standard. You start with a magic ring, then you'll have a row of increases, then a stitch and an increase all the way around. Then our next row is going to be 2 stitches and an increase all the way around, 3 stitches increase all the way around. You kind of get the idea. Essentially what we're doing is we're spacing out the distance between each increase, but in doing so, they're getting stacked. And it's creating a bulge in all of these places where we have these radial lines, which is what's attributing to that straighter kind of hexagonal shape. So what is it going to look like when we do it on the circular one all written out? Have something that's going to look more like this. So pretty basic to start. We're going to have our magic ring, then our row of increases, then 1 single crochet and an increase. The next row, though, is where we're going to get the magic. So we'll start with a single, then do an increase, then we'll do our 2 stitches and an increase, the 2 stitches and an increase around until we get to the end, where we're going to end with a single crochet to kind of balance off that beginning. Next row, normal. Just the 3 stitches, increase, 3 stitches, increase, and then here, this next one, we're going to start with the 2, then do our increase, and then at the end, we're going to end it with a 2. All we're doing here really is just splitting and cutting those ones in half so that we start with single crochets on either side. So if we compare what these patterns are going to look like together, it can be a little bit easier to see exactly what we're doing. So we're going to start off the same for each one of them. We got a magic ring, we've got a row of increases, and then we have our next row that's going to be a single and an increase. And then here's where the difference is and the magic is going to happen. So in theory, all we're doing is we're splitting up the single crochets so that it staggers where the increase is every other row. Sounds complicated, really isn't. So if we look at this 4th row here, on a stacked increase, we're just going to have 2 single crochets, then an increase. We're just going to repeat that. On the staggered one, we're going to start with that single crochet, then do an increase. Then we're going to go into our normal increase pattern. So the 2 single crochets, increase, and what that's going to leave us with at the end is an unworked stitch that we're just going to put that single crochet into. Next row, completely the same. It's our 3s. Next row, we're going to cut it in half, start with one of those halves, do our increase, then continue with our 4s and our increases. And we're just going to repeat that over and over again. So now that we know how our increases affect our overall shape, how do we apply this? Well, we want to think about what shape we want for the project that we're working on. If we're doing amigurumi, we're probably going to want to use something with a circular base, and so use these separated, staggered increases. But if we're doing something more geometric, these stacked increases might be the better option just to get an overall more angular looking shape. We don't really have a good one or a bad one when it comes to doing increases. We just have 2 different applications that are better for different purposes. Now that we've worked with these 2 shapes, next time we're going to look at how it applies to spheres. All right, and that's my first YouTube video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions about what I covered today, and please feel to leave suggestions on editing. This is my first time doing it, and it's a struggle. I think I did an okay job, but I could be better. I want to be better. But on the screen now, we're going to see my Instagram, TikTok. Soon, after we do the spheres, there's going to be a link for Etsy, where I'm going to be uploading some patterns that I've designed myself. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and see ya! Watch out, because after we do the sphere analysis, the ball analysis, after we analyze some balls, analyze, why do I not know this word? Take two.